Okay, so I'll be answering the question, what was the impact of Christianity in the American founding? So, first off, the required reading this week showed us that the expeditions from Europe were in part motivated by spreading Christianity to other corners of the world. We can see this with the establishment of the colonies on the eastern side of North America. The Virginia Charter of 1606 shows that the intent of the Virginia colony was one of propagating the Christian religion. So King James I wanted Christianity to be shared with those in the New World. Among other things, there were other things that they were going to do, but he wanted Christianity to be shared with others. Others found refuge in the New World because of religious persecution within different regions in Europe, and because the move to the New World was largely religiously motivated, Christianity, it's not odd that Christianity is reflected in the eventual governments established within the New World. So, by the 17th century, many of these colonies were thriving and had their own Christian identities ingrained within their colony. So, for example, the Puritans in Boston, the Catholics in Maryland, and up into some parts of Canada, the Quakers in Pennsylvania, and the Baptists in Rhode Island. Obviously, there are some that I didn't state, but all over there were different identities ingrained in these colonies from differing denominations. So the variety of different branches of Christianity in what would be the United States is like Noel stated in the book. One of the section titles talked about the mosaic of the United States, and I believe that the United States still reflects that mosaic of different kinds of people and different ethnicities and different religions, and Knowles is showing us in that reading this week how that is reflected in the United States with these differing denominations. At the end of chapter 3 in the Knowles reading, there was a quote that he stated that I really thought was extremely relevant to this argument of how Christianity impacted the founding of America. It says that in 1740, the population of the 13 colonies that later would become the United States was about 900,000. The largest four denominations among the population were the English and Protestant Congregationalists with 423 churches, Anglicans with 246, and then the Baptists with 96. And I believe the next one was the Scot-Irish Presbyterians or Protestants. Off the top of my head, for some reason I didn't add that, with 160 churches. Knowles follows with the numbers of many more denominations of churches at this time in 1740, which is insane to me. It's crazy that that's how many different churches were in these colonies. Let's see, this is a powerful statistic because the founding of the nation is not far off from this time, making the church and Christianity within the colonies impactful because of the number of colonists who were involved with one denomination or another. The impact of Christianity can also be seen in the documents that govern the United States. For example, the Bill of Rights, specifically the First Amendment, reflects Christianity. The First Amendment states, Congress shall make no law representing an establishment of religion. This stems from their experiences with the Church of England and history of religion being forced on those living in a specific country. So I feel like you could see this as a negative thing, but I don't see it that way. I see it as something, as these founding fathers growing and learning from the experiences of the Church of England. The persecution many groups faced while in Europe influenced this idea of not establishing a national religion. The statement should not be viewed in a negative light because it shows the ability of the founding fathers to learn from the mistakes of the English and knowing what they wanted in their new nation. It is also followed up directly after that with the idea that we can freely practice any religion we choose. This is also reflective of the struggles the colonists fought with the British over which denomination they felt connected to. as well as one another. There was fighting over what denomination or what way of worshiping Christ is better than another. And with this statement of freedom of religion, the United States is impacted by Christianity in the sense that it's saying that no one way is better than the other, and that's powerful. So lastly, the First Amendment addresses freedom of speech, which is directly connected to Christianity, because it reinforces that freedom of religion by allowing people to share their beliefs without consequence of being told they are wrong. Now, that's not to say that there aren't consequences. There are many different denominations within Christianity, and to say one is more right than another takes away from what Christ intended for Christians. The evidence that Christianity impacted the founding of America is clear and evident, as seen in our governing documents reflecting Christian morals and values, which is not an accident.